A common reading strategy is to monitor what you read. This is not only a skill for grade level readers, but any and all readers alike. It is easy to lose sticky notes. Luckily, we can solve this problem with, you guessed it, linoit.
Linoit can be used as a website or an application. Apple and Android both support Linoit in their App Store for free. Both versions allow students and teachers to access their boards and posts from anywhere. Linoit is a simple technology that requires barely any information from the user. Once a user provides a valid email address and password, they are ready to go. Ever have trouble remembering those awesome ideas that pop up in your brain throughout the day? Linoit provides an excellent way to help remember all of those ideas. You can categorize your notes using a tag so that they stay grouped together on your board. For example, I tagged all of my notes on the left side of my board ASAP so that I knew I needed to complete each of these tasks as soon as possible. The due date tool helps give reminders about important upcoming dates and appointments. In order to do this, the user must click on the calendar icon and pick a due date for that particular activity or appointment. These appointments will show up on the user's homepage on the right-hand side under Tasks. This feature shows the user's upcoming tasks as well as old tasks that still need to be completed. The group feature on Linoit allows teachers to create different lessons on one page in order to make up a unit plan. For example, pictured here you can see that the blue sticky and everything below it was a football throwing lesson prepared by Mr. Darty, whereas the pink sticky was a lesson prepared by Mr. Hall. No more share drive or attaching documents to emails is necessary. Linoit is a great resource that allows students to become active members in their learning experiences. Here you can see students working on Linoit in a whole group setting. When a teacher creates a Canvas on Linoit, they make it public so that their entire class can follow along on their own device. This is an excellent feature, especially for students who have trouble seeing the board. One way you can use Linoit in a whole group setting is shown here with a second grade class. First, the teacher read the story, Frog and Toad, out loud. While the teacher was reading, the students were told to pay close attention to the sequence of events. This image shows 3 pictures in a random order that are from the story. The goal is for the students to match each photo from the toad and the frog to the correct part of the story. The teacher picked various students to come up to the board and physically drag each note to its matching picture. At the end of the lesson, the students had a sense of teamwork because they rearranged and added to a Linoit canvas as a class. Small groups are found in many classrooms today. There is a strong push in education for small groups and students working together to complete a task. In this picture, students are using Linoit to collaborate with other students from their class. This type of activity allows students to think outside their personal box, as well as help students learn the value of teamwork. As a brief before reading assignment, students were asked the question, what are some activities you can do at the beach? Individuals were able to respond to this question on their own devices by typing on a colored post-it in a complete sentence. Students were able to type their response or upload a picture of their response to their note.
They were also able to immediately read and reflect on other student responses. What is so exciting about this activity is that students who responded to this question were not all in the same classroom. In fact, some students were on similar reading levels in other classrooms. They were able to share their thoughts with one another. A common reading strategy is to monitor what you are reading. This is not only a skill for grade level students, but for any and all readers alike. It is easy to lose track of sticky notes. Luckily, we can solve this problem with, you guessed it, Linoit. Younger students may need assistance in creating this canvas to get started. The teacher can easily set this up for them. This will be an easier task for older students. All they need to do is put the title on the canvas and have it match the title of their book. Then they are set. The students then read their book, and after each page, they stopped and filled out a post-it to summarize the page. This can also be done with older students using chapter books. If they're not quite ready for chapter books, it has also been done with page ranges, such as doing 1 through 4. Independent work is necessary to monitor student progress. Linoit can have separate canvases for each student to display his or her work. This canvas can be used for most subject areas, such as reading, math, science, social studies, and many more. In this student example, the teacher pinned down the question in purple. They also set up steps 1, 2, 3, and the answer for students to break up a multi-step word problem in mathematics. The student is then able to fill in the problem broken down into different pieces. A way to differentiate this activity is to not have the post-its labeling the steps. That way the student has to figure out how the problem is broken down independently. In order for the teacher to reflect on student learning, it is important to collect student work samples daily. A common strategy that teacher has used in the past is an exit ticket. Instead of students completing this activity with a paper and pencil, it can be done through technology. In this work sample, a teacher pinned the exit ticket question down in purple. Students were told to respond to this question. It reflected a skill that was learned earlier that day. This allowed students to respond on their own learning levels. Students were able to respond to the post and sign their names using the tag feature. An alternative option would be to assign each student an icon. This will allow the teacher to know who's responding without the other students feeling like they are being judged by their peers, whether they are right or wrong.